Before we get started, I just wanted to mention that this video will mainly be about the dark side itself and a few of the dark side users, not specifically the Sith. I'll mention some Sith from time to time, but the Sith is not what this video is focused on, just the dark side itself. So a good comparison to use that describes how the dark side works is to compare it with a forest fire. The bigger a forest fire grows, the more fuel it's able to consume. As it consumes more fuel, it grows bigger and bigger. And as it grows bigger and bigger, it's able to consume still more fuel. This cycle goes on indefinitely until it is extinguished by lack of fuel or oxygen. The dark side functions the same way as that forest fire. The only difference is its source of fuel. A forest fire is fueled by wood. The dark side is fueled by passions and pain. The more someone uses the dark side, the more pain it causes their victims. The dark side user can feed off their own pain as well as the pain of their victims. The more pain and suffering that is felt, the more powerful the user becomes. The more power the dark side practitioner uses, the more pain and suffering is felt, and thus the fire grows larger and larger. Unlike the forest fire, however, the dark side user will never run out of pain and anger, as long as they are able to feel those emotions themselves. Which is why it is necessary for a Sith to have an event or events in their life that they may constantly draw from. A soul-splitting event that they can forever obtain pain and suffering from. This event would be all the more powerful if they had caused this event to happen themselves.
I won't leave you. Not this time.
Then you will die.
Oftentimes, the Sith or dark side user will purposely cause these events to happen, knowing they will be able to draw on the pain and suffering that these events had caused them at a later time for greater power. Like when Anakin killed the Jedi younglings by hand, or when, in Legends, Jacen Solo killed Mara Jade, or in Legends when Sheev Palpatine killed his mother, father, and siblings. I also think this was the true reason Kylo Ren killed Han Solo. He says, "I am being torn apart, torn by his desire to gain more power, and torn by guilt for his choice to work against his family." He says, "I know what I have to do, but I do not know if I have the strength to do it." Here he is talking about killing his father. These are all pre-planned events that the dark side users have planned in advance for the purpose of being able to draw on the pain and suffering that these events will cause them in the future. It is important to note that this self-inflicted torture practiced by the Sith when they do something terrible to someone they care about is not guilt or regret. So again, the pain that they are feeling by doing these bad things to people they love should not be guilt or regret. These things drive command of the dark side away. The reason guilt, regret, and compassion drive command of the dark side away is because these things affect one's will. They affect one's resolve. It is self-hate which allows command of the dark side. What happened in Kylo Ren's case is he felt a great deal of guilt and regret when he killed Han. I believe this is why the janitor was able to do so well against Kylo when they were fighting with their lightsabers. As I mentioned before, these aren't things that he will be able to draw power from. Guilt, compassion, and regret are things that greatly diminished Kylo Ren's powers, as we learned in the novelization of The Force Awakens. We also see this with Darth Bane. when he realized he had unknowingly killed his father. He had felt guilty about it, making him unable to command the Force for several months. However, if Kylo is able to turn that guilt and regret into self-hate, or hatred of others, for example, blaming and hating Finn for dragging Han into this situation, that he will be able to draw power from and greatly magnify his powers. Also, Han was a tie to the light side and a temptation that could no longer be allowed to exist, as this was, again, probably causing him guilt and regret, affecting his will, which in turn was affecting his command of the dark side. With that temptation gone, and this new source of pain that Kylo and other dark side users have created for themselves, ever present in their lives, they should be able to reach new heights of power that had previously been unobtainable. Once they have obtained these new powers, they may reach a numbness for their past actions. And I say numbness because I don't know a better term for it. They are able to have complete authority over their actions and feelings regarding this previous bad thing that they did. Kind of like a controlled, targeted forest fire, where they can be in a complete hurricane of power and emotions, but still be able to control and direct that kind of chaos. Not all Darkseid users are able to have this kind of control. In fact, most don't. And ironically, that lack of control is usually the cause of their defeat. But this is why Sith are always doing horrific things to other beings, seemingly for no reason. They need more suffering to draw on, as it increases their untamed power. I got to the end of this video and saw that it was like 6 or 7 minutes long, and so I'm going to actually do this in a series format, because there's just a whole lot of stuff to go over. I guess this video is more about how the dark side works as far as how it's fueled and how to obtain it and get more powerful in it, as well as why Sith or dark side users do some of the things they do. I'm going to do another video or two. The next video is probably going to be on the effects that the dark side has on the body and what it means to be a dark side user. Like, being a Sith would actually just really, really suck. So that's probably what my next video is going to be about. So make sure to subscribe so you get notification when I come out with a video. And like and comment and share, stuff like that.